Some of the greatest Air Jordans ever made were built for exactly one person. Not limited. Not exclusive with a raffle. One player, their team's colors, their number, sometimes their name stitched inside. And a production run you could count on one hand. You couldn't buy them then. You mostly can't buy them now. For the rest of us, they only ever existed on TV, 48 minutes at a time. These are the player exclusives, the shadow catalog of the Air Jordan line. Some of them now trade for more than a car. By the end of this video, that catalog is going to leave the court completely and end up in a rapper's vault and a burger restaurant. But it starts with the last player you'd ever expect to need an exclusive. The first player exclusive belonged to Michael Jordan. The player exclusive didn't start as marketing. It started as a jersey number. 1994, Jordan retires at the peak of his powers and goes to play minor league baseball. Nike builds him Air Jordan 9 Cleats. With one detail no store pair ever had. The heel doesn't say 23. It says 45, his baseball number. A one-man version of a mass-produced shoe. Nobody had a name for what that was yet. Then, March 1995. 2 words, I'm back, but he returns wearing number 45, because 23 is already hanging in the rafters. So Jordan Brand builds him a Chicago Air Jordan 10, with tighter 45 inches stitched on the lateral heel, a version of his own shoe that did not exist anywhere else on Earth. Personalized shoes for athletes had technically existed since the 70s, one-offs here and there. But this pair is considered the true birth of the Air Jordan player exclusive, the moment a customization became a category. And understand what it did to everyone watching. Same silhouette, same colorway as the pair in stores, one number different. Suddenly, the retail pair was the copy. The original was on his feet, and there was exactly one of him. Every exclusive in this video runs on that exact feeling. The rule that created the shadow catalog. Here's the part most fans never knew. Until 2019, the NBA required players' shoes to essentially match their uniforms. Sounds like boring league paperwork. That rule quietly created an entire hidden industry. Because if you were a Team Jordan athlete on the Kings or the Bucks or the Hornets, Jordan Brand had to build your team's colors, and most of those colorways never touched a shelf. The scale of this is bigger than almost anyone realizes. Collectors have documented over 75 Air Jordan 13 player exclusives alone that never released. One silhouette, 75 plus colorways, 0 for sale. Multiply that across the entire line, and you get a complete parallel history of Air Jordans that exists only in game footage and collector vaults. The king of that catalog is Ray Allen. Sugar Ray was one of the original Team Jordan signings, and he did something almost nobody else did. He refused the team models and insisted on playing in the numbered line, the same shoes MJ himself wore. 18 years in the league, 4 franchises, and a PE for seemingly every chapter of his career. Bucks purple and green, Sonics green and gold, pairs so clean that collectors half-joke Jordans were secretly designed for Seattle's palate all along. Celtics green for the 2008 championship run. And when he won his second ring with Miami in 2013, Jordan Brand built him an Air Jordan 11 exclusive that said it plainly. 2 rings, roundups of Ray's best PEs can't stay under 15 pairs. One counted 40 and admitted it was scratching the surface. And here's the detail that elevates him above every other name in this act. After MJ retired for good, Ray Allen effectively became the on-court face of the numbered Air Jordan line, the player keeping the flagship alive in real games while the man himself watched from an owner's box. His exclusives aren't just rare colorways. They're the closest thing the post-Jordan era had to Jordan moments. When his pairs surface at all, they trade at 5-digit prices, partly rarity, partly the career, and partly because no one in history has looked bad in a Sonics-colored Jordan. Mike Bibby ran the same play in Sacramento. His Kings-colored 13 exclusives, that white and purple palette laid over MJ's black cat silhouette, became grail material for PE collectors precisely because the Kings never got a retail Jordan story of their own. Bibby's locker was the only place those colorways ever existed. Chris Paul was stacking exclusives before he ever had a signature line. As a young Hornet, he collected 13 PEs, and through the 2007-08 season, he wore Air Jordan 23 exclusives, the most premium shoe in the line at the time, built in colorways made for one-point guard. CP3 eventually graduated to his own Jordan signature. The PEs are the record of the apprenticeship. And Carmelo Anthony rounds out the 13 Dynasty. Nuggets and Knicks exclusives across the years, he carried Jordan brand on court, plenty of which never released. Melo's relationship with the brand ran deep enough to earn his own line, too. But the PEs came first. 4 players, 1 silhouette doing the heaviest lifting, and an entire catalog you were never allowed to buy. The Kobe Jordans. The most mythologized player exclusives in the entire archive belong to a man who never signed with Jordan brand at all. 2002 to 2003, Kobe Bryant's sneaker free agency. No shoe contract, total freedom, wearing whatever he wanted night to night. And what he wanted some nights were Air Jordans. Jordan brand built him exclusive 3S and 8S in Lakers purple and gold. Never announced, never sold, never even officially acknowledged. Just Kobe, mid-prime, playing in MJ's shoes and colorways that existed for him alone. Greatness, acknowledging greatness, live on national television. For over a decade, those pairs existed only in photographs. Then, when Kobe retired, Jordan brand finally reissued the 3 and the 8 as the Kobe PE pack, friends and family only, honoring his 20-year career. Even the tribute wasn't for sale. The few pairs that leaked out averaged north of $13,000, and they sit among the rarest shoes in the brand's entire archive. If you're chasing anything from this act, that retirement pack is the only realistic entry. And realistic means 5 figures and serious authentication. The 2002 originals are museum pieces. The Lakers 3 might be the single most wanted PE ever made. The players you've never heard of. Now the strangest wing of the Shadow catalog, because not every PE went to a legend. Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman, Nike's 2 founders, are both Oregon alumni. So Oregon Ducks players, college kids, most of whom never touched an NBA roster, have received exclusive Jordans for years. The Air Jordan 5 Duckman, made for the 2014 men's basketball team with the Duck mascot striking the Jumpman pose, now averages around $13,000, top 10 most expensive Jordans on StockX. The Ducks 4, green and yellow with the O branding, clears $10,000. Anonymous players, 5-figure shoes. That tells you something important about how this works. The PE formula doesn't even require fame. It just requires a locker room you're not in. The women's game is in this catalog too. Maya Moore, the most decorated winner of her generation, received Air Jordan 23 exclusives built in her colors as one of Jordan brand's signature athletes. Same shadow catalog, same closed door, and the final proof of what these mean to players themselves is PJ Tucker. The NBA's most notorious sneaker hunter built a reputation on wearing other players' exclusives, pairs made for someone else's team, someone else's school, someone else's moment. His collection includes pairs worth more than some players' contracts. And when he warmed up for an NBA Finals game in Oregon, Friends and Family 13S, sneaker Twitter melted down. Sit with that image for a second. An active NBA player, a millionaire with access to literally anything the sneaker world makes, chasing shoes built for college kids he's never met. That's the pull of a closed door. Even the people inside the building want into the rooms they're not in. The player exclusives that left the hardwood. The next room in the vault, because Jordan brand's players were never only basketball players. Derek Jeter wore Air Jordan cleats through his entire Yankees career, delivering World Series wins in them before anyone else thought to put a Jumpman on a baseball diamond. When his jersey was retired, Jordan brand honored him with a blue suede Air Jordan 11 Premium and released exactly 5 pairs to the public through scratch-off lottery tickets at a pop-up near Yankee Stadium. 5 pairs. The low-top RE2 Peck that everyone could actually buy, that's the souvenir. The real one had 5 owners on day 1. CC Sabathia got Concord-inspired Air Jordan 11 cleats, the most famous Jordan colorway ever made, rebuilt for a pitcher's mound. David Price took Air Jordan 13 cleats to the mound in Tampa. Jason Taylor rushed quarterbacks in Air Jordan 3 cleats, elephant print and all. Baseball, football, an entire cross-sport catalog of Jordans built for one athlete's job, in one athlete's size, exactly once. The player exclusive leaves the court completely. And then the concept made its final evolution. Because once Jordan Brand understood that the value was the person, not the position, not the sport, the exclusive stopped needing an athlete at all. Nobody embodies that era like Eminem. His Jordan history is a trilogy of closed doors. 2005, the Encore Air Jordan 4, made to celebrate the album, 50 pairs total, given to friends, family, and a few industry insiders. Blue upper, red and black accents, and resale rumored to have cleared $30,000. 2015, the Eminem X Carhartt 4, arguably the hardest Jordan 4 to see in person ever. 10 pairs auctioned, raising $227,000 for charity, and 2017, the Encore returns for a StockX charity raffle. 23 pairs made, 22 went to M. Pair number 23 went to Mr. 23 himself. Average resale on those, over $22,000. Then there's the funniest entry in the entire exclusive canon. The Wahlburgers Air Jordan 4, made for Mark Wahlberg's burger chain. By Wahlberg's own telling, 23 pairs went to him and 23 to Michael Jordan. A shoe whose entire production run is split between two men, one of whom is a restaurant. If you're chasing anything from this act, be honest with yourself about what's actually attainable. The true exclusives, the 50 Encores, the 10 Carhartts, move through auction houses with provenance paperwork, not sneaker apps. The realistic plays are the released descendants, the retail colorways that borrowed the exclusive DNA once the hype was proven. You're not buying the Grail, you're buying the Echo. And for 99% of collectors, the Echo is the whole market. Look at what happened across this video. The exclusive started as a jersey number on Michael Jordan's heel. Then it became team colors for Ray Allen and Mike Bibby. Then college locker rooms, then baseball cleats. And by the end, a rapper's vault and a burger franchise. The court disappeared entirely. The formula never changed. Build it for one person and let everyone else watch. So look at what every shoe in this video has in common. It isn't materials. Retail pairs often use the same leather. It isn't design. Half of these are one number or one team's colors away from something you can buy today. The value is the person. Made for one man's baseball number, one shooter's 4 franchises, one free agent's flirtation with the throne, one college locker room, 5 scratch-off tickets outside a stadium, 50 pairs for an album. Strip the person away and these are just colorways. Attach the person and their 5-figure grails, which, if you've been watching this channel, is the whole Air Jordan story in miniature. It's the same reason a game-worn Flu Game 12 sells for 6 figures, while the identical retro sits on a shelf. The shoe was never the product. The person was. The moment was. Jordan Brand understood that before anyone. The strongest demand isn't made by selling to everyone. It's made by building something for one person and letting the whole world watch it walk by. The best marketing Jordan Brand ever ran is the pair they refuse to sell you.